hate these green screens. That was fun, wasn't it? You know, no one will have a conversation, right? No one can have a conversation. You know, MJ, you can't have a conversation, right? But you can sit up there on your panel in your little character outfit and try to publicly humiliate me instead of actually having a conversation. This app truly runs full circle. It really runs full circle because, now, you've got everybody on the hate train over there harassing and talking about, me personally making personal attacks when you could just simply have a conversation. But apparently that can't be had, right? Just like I guess that gave Smashley the right to dox my full phone number on her green screen in her live, right? But nobody's going to talk about that, are they? I guess, right, with the selective outrage, you guys pick and choose who you get to dox, right? But it was okay for Smashley to dox me and do what she did, right? But we're all going to give Smashley a free pass for that. Excuse me. Nobody can actually have a civil. There can never ever just be a civil conversation. It has to become a full blown, bash fest. It's like a. it becomes like a humiliation ritual for some of you people on this app. It's like you guys get your mind made up about somebody, and then you go hold a whole entire live, and you start speaking on me, and then have your whole room, your whole chat. It's like a, let's get on the Shannon hate train. Let's humiliate her, and let's let people talk to her any which way, But, Smashley couldn't have a conversation. She couldn't have a civil conversation. No, she had to call me a see you next Tuesday. She had to dox me. But hey, y'all just act like that I just went over there and told it. No, that's not how it happened. That's not how it happened. The only reason why I spoke about that account and what had went on is because Stephanie had made a video about it and had outed it to everyone, and I figured it was best for it to come out of my own mouth versus it coming out of Stephanie's. But nobody wants to hear the full context of how it all went down. Y'all are just going to take bits and pieces on how y'all think it went down. But instead of Smashley having a conversation, or anyone else having a conversation, you guys just, y'all pointed the finger as if that whole entire chat was my idea, when in fact it wasn't. But like I said, I've learned that, when you have a group of people, when you have a mass of people that don't like somebody, you all group together as a group. It takes a whole entire group to gang up on one person. You know? You guys have this rule, right? If someone's being spoke on, or if someone's being talked about, or something, they should be allowed to, listen, or be there. But I guess there's that only applies to certain people, right? And then immediately people started attacking Andy in that chat, which I think's really unfair. At least the one thing that I can say about me is that I don't have to sit with a mass of people or a group of people to bully or harass people. And I definitely wouldn't have let anybody in my life just attack and gang up on somebody, I mean, I said, hey, I can leave. And then you guys just all wanted to pop off, You know, what I find crazy is that a lot of those people over there that say they can't stand me and they don't like me, why is it that you guys view my profile on a daily then? You do know that I can see that, right? Whatever happened to just like hitting the block button and just like leaving people alone? Megan has harassed and bullied and terrorized me for over 10 months. Mallory has to get on the hate train. I've just come to the conclusion it's just a big group of mean girls on this app that all rally together to hate on people and bully people and try to belittle people. And what's really sad is the fact that there are so many people on this app that try to convince other people not to like somebody. It's like someone's not able to have their own opinion about somebody or have their own experience with the person. It's like I feel like when it comes to TikTok, especially on this side, I think when a group of people all rally together and when one person isn't liked, everyone else can't like them either. Y'all act like that y'all haven't been involved in a lot of fuck shit and y'all haven't messed up and y'all haven't screwed up and I guess it's just selective outrage. Y'all just pick and choose who y'all want to bully and harass, and then you pinpoint and you stay laser focused on somebody until you break them down until they're nothing or until they just go away, and then y'all just pick the next person to pick on. And it's always the people that are always talking about, mental health matters and we should all be more gracious and kind and forgiving. But, there's no forgiveness in none of y'all's hearts for nothing. Y'all know how many times that I have been screwed over and betrayed and lied to and I'm the type of person that I try to give people the benefits of the doubt, but I guess that never, we all know how that works out, right? But I guess I guess Andy's not allowed to be my friend now. I guess Andy and all of her friends are gonna have to block me and like not support me. But I saw that. That's why I just left. You know. Nobody can have a civil conversation with nobody. I mean, once again, because Stephanie wanted to do the most, right? And she got mad because I found out the truth, that she had lied and she had threatened me and she had done a lot to Andy and Lady Day and all the other girls. I just realized that that's just not something I wanted to, intermingle with anymore, And all because I stepped away. Once again, because I step away from somebody, they get mad and they get pissed off and they go and do the absolute worst to me, Stephanie had to go under one of her accounts and make a whole ass video and make a huge scene about it. And the only reason why I came out and told everybody that I was Fallout is because Stephanie had already outed it and made a video about it. So I definitely wasn't going to let somebody else spin the narrative or say what was done or said. And I definitely have never deflected on the parts that I played in on that. You know what, Andy? I'm like at this point now when it comes to people like Mallory and Megan and all these people that get on these hate trains. It's like, what's the purpose? What's the point? To allow someone to just be blatantly attacked and bullied and alive and to just let it all happen. And it was all for humiliation. That's all that she just did. You can't say that's not what happened. She could have said, hey, can you and I have a conversation? Can I kind of figure out why that all happened and how all that kind of went down? But instead, it went a whole different direction and it went into, let's just bash the fuck out of her, and make her feel like she's less than, the old me would probably go live and just flip the fuck out, but I refuse to exert that energy anymore when it comes to this app. What I find crazy is that a lot of people over there in that live are over there talking mad shit about me, but have actually sent me messages in private, trying to be nice to me. It's like, oh, I can fuck with you behind the scenes and send you DMs privately, but if you ever get into a live and everybody starts attacking you, we're all just going to go in on it too. And I'll say, I don't know who that Slay person is, but she's terrible. She has said some of the most rudest things to me, and I've never even had a conversation with this person or ever even dealt with this person. I don't know. I guess, Andy, I guess, shit, you know. I guess I gotta watch wherever it is that you go, because if I go around, then people are gonna attack you because of me, you know. Hmm. I don't even, I don't know when people became so fucking heartless, you know? Cruel, mean. The only reason why I'm, talking about Megan and Mallory is because, they've been doing this shit to me for months, and I've hit a breaking point. But man, y'all love to just fucking rip a human. You women, a lot of you women love to rip a person apart. Even after all the shit that Megan has done, and the things that Mallory has said, and a lot of other people have said, I I might have talked of some of my shit and ran my mouth at times, but like, I don't think I've ever just dragged someone to the point of where they feel like they're worthless or useless. It's like they don't belong anywhere. I feel like it's just a big old mean girl group. I don't know why people just can't learn to leave people alone and move on. I mean, let's backtrack here. I mean, you had someone like Megan that literally held a whole 24-hour bashing live on me, and Joyce and Mallory and all them participated, and went on for hours and hours and hours, just just digging deeper and deeper into somebody to hurt them. And I get that people get, they get to the point where they get frustrated and they get upset. And I've spoken my piece and I've gone live and I've spoken about things, but I definitely haven't bashed someone for hours and days at a time. And then if I knew that I was truly affecting someone that deeply and hurting someone that bad, I'm the type of person that I know well enough to stop and know that enough's enough. But man, some of you girls and some of you women on this app, y'all don't know when to stop. I mean, y'all have mocked my attempt. Y'all have mocked my mental health. Y'all have mocked my relationship. Y'all have done so much shit to me and ride on the coattails of what other people have said about me. And a lot of you women never have even had an actual true conversation with me. And you base your opinion on me on someone else's thoughts about me. And I get it. MJ, she's a hot topic right now. Everybody wants to go over there in her lives and watch her entertain everybody and put on her outfits and act silly and goofy and troll people. But MJ, I've never gone live on my platform. I've never bashed you. I've never trashed you. Never talked shit about you. Even after everything that transpired, I never mentioned your name. I never really brought you up or anybody else. I just kind of let it all lie. But, you know, and no, I didn't just go and run to Florida Man and tell him everything because, I was trying to out everybody. It's because I wanted to say what happened and not have Stephanie out here misspewing information and shit, all because she was pissed off because I walked away from her. I mean, matter of fact, once again, Stephanie, who has talked more crap about Megan and has bashed Megan and has called Megan every name in the book and has told me how dangerous she is and how reckless she is, reached out to Megan last night and thought she was doing something. And tried to give Megan information, and Stephanie thought she was doxing my employment. And then Megan thought she was going to do her little, big kitten caboodle and thinking she was going to find out where I'm working and where I'm employed. And I've never told Stephanie, I refuse to tell Stephanie anything real about my personal life. That's the one thing that I've learned with that woman is to trust her with no real information, because she'll hold it against you, and then as soon as you piss her off, she'll turn it against you, because that's what Stephanie does. But then Smashly gets upset and she doxes my full phone number on her green screen. All because what? I admitted I was the Fallout account and there was a group chat. I mean, I've already had my number doxed by Witty. I had to change my number then. Um, you know. Then I had Smashly dox me again. But I guess, everybody was ranting and raving about, people getting doxed and all this other stuff. But, hell, my shit got doxed all because Smashly got inner feelings and got pissed off. But nobody called that out. Nobody ever told her how messed up that was. Everybody just laughed it off and brushed it off and just said, fuck Shannon. And y'all can't sit there and say that, in that group chat that a lot of y'all didn't play certain parts with everything that was being said or happening. I didn't really go into the depths of how it all happened, but like I said, I definitely sure as hell wasn't going to let Stephanie spew misinformation. And one of the main reasons why I walked away from Stephanie is because I found out that she actually did threaten my life. She did do that. And then she lied about her whole court situation and being arrested and all that. And I just said, I don't want to be friends with somebody that's going to like, sorry, but if you're the type of person that you're like, saying that you're going to unalive somebody on TikTok because you're upset, I mean, that's not really somebody I kind of want to interact with anymore. And what I don't get is how many people on this app literally chase me around. I mean, let's stop at, Lip Glossy. Lip Glossy, you tell me, I have told everybody, you hate me, you can't stand me, F Shannon. Why is it that you literally viewed every single one of my profiles today? Yet I've had people, continue to run their mouth about me. And I'm not the type of person that just post a video just because I want to just, attack someone to just be mean, right? I mean, I've done what? I would call it, I'm reacting to what's happening to me. And then, you got people like Violet, who has been one of the biggest flip-floppers. Another pick-me bitch. It's just like, if y'all don't like me, then leave me the fuck alone. Stop talking about me. I'm fine for now, Southern. I mean, and the thing is like, I mean, there's a person in here right now that sits with the group of people that have done the most to me and have talked bad shit about me and that have posted videos about me and continue to post videos about me.
Who's that?
I mean, is this how y'all do people in real life? Do y'all taunt people? Do y'all harass people? Do y'all bully people to no end in real life when you just have a falling out with somebody in your everyday real life? Do you chase them around in their everyday real life and torment them and break them down as a person? Because this is what a lot of you women do here on this app. Tell me where I have just, tell me where I have just gone after somebody just to be mean and malicious, just because I want to just be hateful and I just want to be an ugly person. Half the times that I've ever responded, it's because I'm responding to what somebody is continuing to do to me. I have people telling me all the time, you need to change your behavior. You need to change your behavior. Why don't y'all change your behavior? Why don't y'all change the way that you do things? Why don't y'all have to change the way that y'all treat people? How about some of you individuals that have been nasty and ugly to me for absolutely no reason? Where has been the accountability on your side? Where's been the accountability of, hey, I've hurt you too and I'm sorry? I've never gotten that. Not one goddamn time. I'm not like Mallory. I'm not like, I'm the perpetual victim and it's just woe is me, woe is me. I know when I have fucked up. I know where I have made mistakes and I've been able to own up to a lot of shit. But it's like y'all just can't let somebody be. Y'all have to do a whole goddamn humiliation ritual and then tell someone to apologize and tell someone to hold themselves accountable, and then you still fucking bully them. And you can't say that that's not true because it happens on this app every damn day. I can't imagine, at one point in time, when I was hanging out with Megan, that like, I could never just sit there. I can't imagine holding alive on somebody for 24 hours and just bashing them and trashing them and not ever having a thought in my mind of, how am I making this person feel? Like, am I going too far? Am I doing too much? I know who I am. I know who I am as a person. I know who I am in my everyday life. And I know that I can get up every day and I can look myself in the mirror and know that I'm in a better place. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. Do I handle every situation perfectly? No, I don't. But I'm human. I'm self-aware of the certain things that I need to work on and I need to get better at. One of the things I feel like I've gotten better at is not being explosive in my emotions. Not just going, not just making everything so just cutthroat. I feel like that I've actually have kind of like toned it down a lot compared to what I used to be like. But everyone sits there and says, she's still the same. She's still the same. I had someone in there literally say, Mallory is almost as bad as Shannon. Mallory is almost as bad as Shannon. Tell me what I have done that makes me worse than Mallory. Please, I want somebody to tell me, what is it that I have done that makes me worse than Mallory? Hmm? I mean, I want somebody to answer that. There was somebody over there in MJ's live, and she literally made the comment, Mallory is almost just as bad as Shannon. I'll tell you the day that I ever come on this app and do the things that woman has done, I want somebody to take my phone and break it and cut my Wi-Fi cord and my internet service and my cell phone service. Y'all have so much to say about me when so many of y'all on this app don't even know me. You only know a small percentage of me, but you don't know me. You don't know who I am in real life. You don't know the person I am. You know what's really sad? I'm still the type of bitch. Even if my worst enemy was on the side of the road bleeding out, I would still get out of my car and save their life. I know a lot of people aren't even like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe my heart's too big. Even after the shit things that people continue to do and do to me and do to others, I don't know. I believe that there's good and kind in everyone. We're all human. But damn, some of y'all are just flat out just mean. And y'all are mean because I feel like sometimes people want to carry on this alter ego when they get online or they get on the internet and they think that they can just be, you know, a whole new person, and they can try to make people think that they're a certain type of way, and they come in here, on the internet and try to be a villain when they're probably not even like that in their real life. It's just a character that they've put on. I just think this world has gone to shit. It really has. I think social media has ruined so many people. I think it's like I think it's going to be the downfall for not only just our country but other countries. I just feel like it's so easy for people just to get on the internet and just be fucking dicks. You can't even come on here and have fun anymore or have a good time anymore. And everyone says, oh, well, just do your own thing. Do your own thing. You know how many times I've tried just to do my own thing? You know how many times I've just tried to just move on and just, move forward? But no, there's the people that want to be ugly and mean. Y'all don't allow that to happen. Y'all don't allow people to have peace. Because some of y'all don't even have peace in your own life. So y'all just want to just be mean and hateful and treat people like shit. And I'll tell you, I'm never going to get in a box, and somebody's going to tell me to get in a box and hold myself accountable and own up to this and own up to that. Why? So you can what? Humiliate me? Talk to me any which way you want to? Mute me so you can spin the narrative and control the conversation? I feel like so many of y'all just want to keep fighting and arguing and fighting and arguing and have no fucking resolution to nothing. But y'all don't ever tell me about a fuck thing about nobody doxing. When I had my whole entire phone number doxed, all because Smashley was upset because I had admitted that there was a group chat. And just for out of spite, she doxed my number on her green screen. I was going to change my number again, and I just finally said, fuck it. I'm not going to change it. I guess if somebody wants to text me and harass me like they have it before in the past, I'll just have to block the number until eventually it just stops. But no, see, you have people like Stephanie, who's a snake in the grass, who tries to befriend you and get to know you and tries to make you feel comfortable and safe. And then she tries to get any little bit of information that she can on you. And then heaven forbid you call her out on her wrongs. I don't know if y'all would tap the screen. I just got a restriction for harassment and bullying. See, that's the thing though, is people can go live and they can do the absolute worst to people and say some of the most foul, unhinged things about people. And all because it's drama and it's, bringing in likes and views, it keeps going. Big Mama J. Who is that again? That name sounds familiar. Is that Dora's wife? And that's another thing. All because people may not like Dora, they probably are now attacking her wife. And how sad is that? How sad is that? And matter of fact, how many times have a lot of people on this app have attacked Mike, who is probably one of the most unproblematic people I've ever known in my life? Does that man have my back? Absolutely. Does he support me? Absolutely. He's my partner. Why wouldn't he? And then another thing, you know, you guys are out here spewing lies, talking about how I had a full-blown affair and I left my ex-husband for Mike. Y'all don't know nothing. And nor will I ever explain any fucking detail of any aspect of any relationship or my current relationship that I'm in with anybody on this fucking internet, because it's none of your business. And I'm definitely not out here talking about it. And it's funny because, see, Mallory once again misspread information, and she told everybody that I was the Velma account and I was the one bringing up Andy's past. And then Mallory once again got into, just mentioned and said that I had a woman in my box who was going to the Special Olympics, and I said that I didn't give a shit. I never said that. I never told that girl that I didn't give a shit. But yet you got people like Mallory that spread misinformation and out here telling people that Andy has taken a man's life with no context. She has spoken up about my mental health. She has spoken about every angle of my life. She has spoken on my daughter. She has spoken on my daughter's sexuality, and has questioned whether or not I accept my daughter because she's a lesbian. And yet, y'all see where I'm going? It's like people just want to come on this app to pick people apart, to harass and bully them. And I'm not going to sit here and explain anything in my real fucking life with another person on this app ever again. And the only thing that I am guilty of is oversharing my life. You know, when I first started going live on TikTok and I had a bunch of people around me and you know, all these people that, you know, I thought were my real friends and that really gave a shit about me, but a lot of them were just playing in my face the whole time. Unfortunately, I shared things about myself to them, and then they turn around and try to, you know, do the most to me. You know? But you don't see me going live every day and talking about it. You don't see me hours and hours on end, you know, woe is me, poor, woe is me. I'm just trying to just move on. You know, I'm just trying to, like, just do my own thing. But shit, y'all motherfuckers on here won't let me. Y'all don't like to care. Y'all don't even start caring until you break someone down. It takes a lot of y'all to break someone down, to hear someone cry, to be like, damn, maybe I have been a little too harsh. Maybe I have not been the nicest. You know, and I know that a lot of y'all have been trying to run me off of this app, and y'all have wanted me just to, like, log off and never come on again. But I'm not going to do that, because I enjoy coming on here and interacting. I love to, you know, would love to do the things that I enjoy, but y'all don't allow it. Y'all go make fake accounts and come into my live and harass me. I mean, for the love of God, I've had to put every form of the word, of the N word with the hard ER in my freaking comments. because they're now attacking Mike, and they're coming in and using the N-word, all because I'm with him, doing the low blow. I bet a lot of y'all that have made a lot of these fake accounts will never own up to the fact that y'all have come over here and called the man that I love the N-word. It's pretty sad that I have to put it in every form and different variations of the N-word just so I don't have to see it in my comment section. And Andy, if you would, or one of the mods in here, would go into the key words or key comments and add that word. Because I'm telling you, that's what's been happening. I'm sorry that it bothers y'all that the man that I love is of color. I'm sorry if that triggers some of y'all. If y'all don't like the fact that I'm with a black man, and Mallory, don't you ever tell me that I'm weaponizing Mike and I'm with him because he's black. You're fucking disgusting for saying that. No, wait, Mallory, you're right. I went out and I searched for a black man, and I have forced him to love me and be with me just so I can say, hey y'all, I'm a YT woman with a black man. Some of y'all have lost your ever-loving fucking minds. I don't weaponize shit. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of who's in my life. I'm proud who I have chose to spend my life with. And that bothers some of y'all. And y'all can't attack me enough, so then y'all attack him. And then you attack anyone that is anywhere close associated with me. You attack those people. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, what was happening with Florida Man's people? And I'm not fond of a lot of the things that he's done or a lot of the things that he said, but I'm definitely not going to go live and speak on that man. I'm not going to go and speak on anyone that supports him. I've learned, and I'm at this point now where I'm going to stay in my lane and I'm going to mind my business, and I'm not going to terrorize or taunt someone who's not doing that to me. I know some of y'all aren't fans of Bougie. Okay, I get that, but I can honestly say that Bougie has not done half the shit that Stephanie has done to me, and Stephanie was supposed to be my friend. And I'm sorry if that's hard for some of y'all to hear, but that's the truth. Does that mean that Bougie and I are best friends? Does that mean that I text her and I talk to her every day and we kiki it up? Do I talk and text to Florida Man? No, I don't. I don't have their numbers. And the only reason why they got my number is because Whitty gave my number to OG, and then OG gave my number. Whitty did that. And then Whitty made up a whole lie and told everybody the reason why she did it was because I was speaking on her, saying that she had herpes. I never said a damn thing about that woman having that shit. It was because she was in a drunken stupor and she got taken advantage of, and she doxed my number. And Violet, you were wrong. She said my husband was sorry because I worked so much. Oh, Survivor, I know who you are. I'm sorry to hear that. And my condolences go out to you and your family. I just, like I said, I walked away from Megan. I walked away from Stephanie. And what have those two women chosen to do to me? All because I wanted to walk away, and I just wanted to just move on. And everybody is wondering, well, what happened between you and Stephanie? I found out that the woman literally threatened to take my life, and then she lied about it. She literally physically showed a pew-pew to a group of women and threatened to take my life over TikTok. And all because I found out the truth, and I found out about a lot of other things that she lied about. By God, guess where Stephanie did? Stephanie ran so fast to Megan, and by God, she did another fucking little phone dump. It's crazy. And now, Stephanie, because you got so wrapped up into TikTok, you have basically ruined your life. And you are facing a felony charge for signing a judge's signature on a fake document. All over fucking TikTok. And then you went over and you tried to, tell Megan where you thought I was working, but you were wrong. Because I knew, Stephanie, I knew for a long time that you were lying. You think I was going to tell you where I was actually working? You think I was actually going to tell you what I was actually doing for real, for work? Or what I was doing in my real everyday life? Hell no. I fed you so much full of bullshit, and I read you, and I tell you, Mike read you like the book. The predictable book that you are. And you did exactly what we knew you would do. And you guess what you did, Stephanie? You went and you ran over to Megan, the same woman who you literally begged me to get a protection order against, and said that Megan was dangerous and she was a wackadoodle. And you said all these horrific things about Megan, and all because what? Because I walked away from you? Because you threatened my life? And you lied? And things just weren't adding up, and I just didn't want to be a part of it no more, so I just walked away, and you couldn't deal with it. And here you are, still on TikTok, under your sneaky accounts, going into Smashley's live, going into MJ's live. Under your fake accounts. You tried to come in here under your account here, but you got blocked out. And you got mad, and then you ran over to Megan. You know. But you know who's never doxed me? You know who's never done shitty things to me? You know Andy's never doxed me. You know Andy's had my real number before. You know Andy's never doxed me. And Andy's never, you know. There's been times when like I said, when they walked away from Stephanie, and Stephanie had me secluded because she wasn't expecting me to have those conversations with Lady Day or Andy. She wasn't ever expecting me to, you know, to make amends or to have conversations. And then when that actually happened and we started all putting two and two together and Stephanie realized that I was finding things out, it pissed her off. But hey, when everybody's on that Shannon hate train, right, we're all just going to dismiss all the fuck shit that everybody has done to me, and we're going to go take all those people in that have done all that fuck shit to Shannon, and we're going to befriend them, and we're all going to just continue to hate on Shannon. You know, I have been chewed up and spit out all over this fucking app. And I will say that as many times as I have just wanted to just throw my hands up in the air and just give in and just, you know, disappear. I am truly thankful that I do have Mike in my life, because that man has never allowed me to just give up. I don't know. But hey, I guess, you know, I guess now some of y'all are going to have to make those hard decisions, and y'all are going to have to decide whether or not you're allowed to be my friend or not. You know, if y'all are going to be able to, you know, take the heat or take the pressure, because if you're, you know, seen making a comment to me or speaking to me. I guess some of y'all are going to have to make the decision whether or not that's going to be, you know, I know for a fact that Southern ain't going to go nowhere, you know. I tell you what, that's one that's been a real bitch through all the shit that I've been through. But like I said, all you individuals that keep, you know, saying that you don't like me and that you can't stand me and that you hate me and that I'm so terrible, stop chasing me around this app. You know, why is it when I go somewhere, why do you feel the need to say something? Why can't you just move on? Hell, I'd rather you just ignore me and act as if I don't exist. That right there, I could handle that, you know. And I said that rejection is protection, but I'm learning now that rejection is redirection. You know, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. I don't have to be liked by everybody. I'm not out here. Um, you know, I know people. There are a lot of people out here that they want to be liked by everybody. I don't need to be liked by everybody. But some of y'all need to really truly ask yourself how you're acting and how you're behaving on this app, and what you were doing people on this app. I want y'all to really, really ask yourselves, like, how is this affecting this other person? You know? I don't even think you're human if you cannot ask yourself if your behavior is becoming so erratic and so unhinged and so hateful and so hurtful that the thought of knowing that you're hurting another human being and trying to break another human being down, if that can bring a smile on your face, and that can bring joy into your life, you're a really messed up person. And if you're the type of individual that can hold an entire life just to humiliate somebody every single moment of your time on TikTok, some of y'all just get laser focused on people, and y'all eat at them. I mean, hell, let's just be honest. I mean, you had Smashley and Mallory fighting for the longest time, and then they made up, and then they were all in cahoots together, and then they were everyone was kind of getting along, and then all of a sudden, Mallory went off the bandwagon, and now it's Mallory and Smashley on the hate train. I think that a lot of us can collectively agree that, Mallory is just, she's her own little entity. She lives in her own little narcissistic world. But I'm not Mallory. I'm just somebody that's not going to continue to allow people to bash and trash me and not think that I'm not able to react and respond back. I have every right to defend myself. Every right. I have every right to defend myself. I have had so many lies. I mean, let's be real. Stephanie got caught in a whole lie, and it admitted that she made up the lie about my ex-husband. She lied about me putting a cheese grater to my face. She admitted it. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did it. I just, I was just mad and I was just upset. Really? So you had a whole group of people believing your lie, all because what? You were pissed off? There's been so many people on this app that have done so many people so fucking dirty. And it's just like they almost get a free fucking pass. But like I said, it's the selective outreach from me. Y'all pick and choose who the fuck you bully every fucking day. Me reacting to what someone else is doing to me, that's not bullying. That's me being fed up. I feel like that I've actually have not gone my full potential of being a complete and utter asshole like I used to be. I'm just now using people's own words against them because you can't really say, right? It's like Mallory, when you use Mallory's own words against her, she can't stand it. And then she tries to copyright you because she doesn't want anyone else to know that she's a walking, talking contradiction. And then you got Megan. She don't even know who she is on a day-to-day basis. She's so fucking bipolar. She's so fucking up and down. She treats her friends like shit. Screams at them, yells at them. You know, Anderson, Pam Anderson, cousin, whoever the fuck you are under your whatever account with your 0 followers. Hold on. Give me a second here. I'm not going to address that situation no more. As far as I'm concerned, that's said, done, over with. I'm not going to speak on a lot of things no more. And I don't owe anyone on this app nothing. I don't owe anyone. I don't owe you a conversation. I don't owe you a second of my time. You're not entitled to nothing. And I tell you this how bad that this app has gotten. It's gotten people so comfortable where they'll go and make a whole screen name, whether it's doxing somebody or whether it's, to just try to be hateful or mean, and to go around and just taunt and terrorize people. And some of y'all live for that. Some of y'all live for it. And what's crazy is a lot of you individuals that have this opinion about me, once again, you've never had a conversation with me. You don't even know me. A lot of you base your opinions about me based on what somebody else thinks, because heaven forbid you actually try to get to know me as a person, but you don't want to take that risk because, if you go back into another person's live, they're going to be like, oh, well, were you talking to Shannon? Or I saw you in Shannon's live. Are you her friend? I'm at this point now where I'm just going to start blocking the fuck out of everybody that continues. If I see you view my profile and I know that you don't care for me and you talk shit about me, I'm just going to block you. If I don't know you, if I have never spoken to you, I'm just going to block you. And I'm telling you, TikTok allows you to block over 10,000 people. And I promise you, I'm the queen of blocking. I have no problems with blocking people. You're not going to get to have access to me because you think you're entitled to get in a box and say what you want to me. And And you guys can, there's no safe place or safe space for anybody. I'm so sick of hearing that shit. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people say, oh, this is a safe place. No, it's not. It's TikTok. You're going to have one or two people that are going to be upset because somebody's in a live, and they're going to get mad, and they're going to start bickering and fighting. There's no safe place for nobody. Hey, but I just don't understand, like I said, the people that continue to come in here who have continued to talk shit about me and trash me, think that they get to come into my live and just talk to me any which way they want. Why are you here? Why do you even want to come over here? What's the purpose? What's the point? You think that I'm going to allow you to come over here to bully me, or even bully anybody that's in my chat that I care about? As soon as I saw Andy getting attacked in that live, I left. I saw like one or two comments, and I was like, you know what? The fact that they're attacking Andy because I'm over here, like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's because I have a heart, and I care for people, and I care what other people are being put through. But you have the same individuals that sit on this app every fucking day and tear people down on a daily basis for entertainment. And some of y'all just sit around and you laugh about it every single fucking day. Y'all sit there and you live stream other people. You watch other people on TikTok to mock them, to make fun of them, to belittle them, to trash talk them. So your little group of people can feel like y'all hold some sense of power. I'm just at this point, I just wish some of y'all would just leave me the fuck alone. I mean, there's people on this app that are literally taking their lives because of harassment and bullying. Hell, a lot of y'all on here have mocked my mental health. Y'all mocked it since 2024, and y'all have spewed misinformation and lies, and y'all have ran with so much shit. When 99.9% of y'all don't even know half of the shit that I've had to deal with mentally, and I've gotten through so much shit, and I've done that on my own. And I refuse to allow another person to make me feel less than ever again. And I can honestly say I'm proud of myself for how far along I've come with my mental health. I'm not perfect. There's a lot of things I need to still work on. But I am proud of where I'm at today. I've had to learn a lot of hard lessons with a lot of people on this app who I thought were my real friends. They've played in my face. They refuse to admit they played in my face. They will refuse to admit the roles that they played in the shitty things that they have also done. A lot of people on this app have too much pride to say, you know what? I handled that wrong and I'm sorry. Some people have too much pride. They don't want to admit they're wrong. But if I've learned anything on this app, I have learned to trust not a goddamn soul on this app. Not when it comes to my real personal life. Not when it comes to anything that has to do anything off of this app. I discuss that with no one. And I'm sorry that if my happiness and my growth upsets you guys, because some of y'all want to I feel like some of y'all want to try to keep me in the same old space that I was in before. I think a lot of y'all don't allow people to grow because y'all just keep on and on and on. But I think a lot of y'all need to own up to some shit that y'all have done and the things that y'all have played part in on all sides. You know, I can say that, yeah, you know, and this is not me trash talking him or bashing him. You know, has Florida Man, has he pushed the limits? Has he taken things to a whole new level? Absolutely. You know, but have a lot of y'all also pushed those limits and have done a lot of things? You have. You know, there's a lot of people on this app that have a lot of skeletons in their closet, and they don't want those brought out, but they want to bring out everybody else's skeletons and humiliate other people and bash other people. I just don't know how some of y'all just can't leave well enough alone and just say that the hell with that person. I'm not going to give them a lick of my energy and I'm just going to move on to better things. But some of y'all spend your days bullying, tormenting, and terrorizing people for entertainment. And Violet, I have seen your recent post. I didn't give that name, Ray. Okay. And if you want to try to make that racial, you can go on with that, but that's not. I did not give myself that name. And as far as I'm concerned, this is my TikTok page, and I'll put whatever the hell I want to. And Andy made it just to be silly, and I thought it was funny. Andy, honey, girl, listen. I'm never going to understand people's thought process. You know, I could sit here and eat a saltine cracker. Oh my God, in alive, I think I even called myself a cracker. And somebody made a remark about me calling myself a cracker. What I find funny is I know a lot of y'all come on this app and y'all try to make people perceive that you're a certain way, but we all know a lot of you individuals that are off of this app act like a whole different person. And I guarantee you, a lot of you individuals talk a whole lot of different ways when you're not on this app. We all know that you got to tickle foot around certain words around here on this app because people are so easily offended. And I'm at this point that I'm not going to tickle foot around other people's feelings, because as y'all get to go onto your platforms and spew and say the things that you say, I have every right to do so as well. But Ray, I think you just need to like let this go, because you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Okay. And we're not going to turn something silly into something that it isn't. But I think, like I said, a lot of you people need to stop having these, bullying and harassment and bashing lives, because it's a ritual. It has become a common ritual on TikTok, where people are demanded to get in boxes and told that we need to have these conversations and you need to do this and do that. Well, my topic for this live piece is people feeling the need to trash and bash people and trying to tell people who they can and can't be friends with, and then attack people in a live, all because I'm there. I mean, because apparently, since Andy's my mod, I guess Andy, she has to get lashed at and bashed on. But I'm at this point, if you are wanting to have a conversation with me, then if you want to have a respectful conversation, one that's going to lead to a resolution, I'm all for those conversations. But if you don't want to have a conversation where there's an actual resolution, then leave me the fuck alone. And I'm sorry if that's too hard for some of y'all to comprehend, but I refuse to put myself in a place or space where I am going to be, silenced or muted, or where the conversation or the narrative is controlled to fit that other person. We had tacos for dinner, Peace. I made tacos. I made homemade tacos. Yep. Homemade tacos. Oh, well, that sounds good. And I've come up to this theory, with the people that I've had issues with. We had both, Peace. We had hard shell and soft shell. I'm at this point that the people that want to continue to do the most to me, or they think they're doing the most to me, I'm at this point where if you have to use my name to keep yourself relevant, go for it. If you have to say my name every single day when you were on this app to make yourself feel relevant, if you have to be that pretentious and you have to feel like you're, you hold this higher knowledge and higher power, and that you're going to do the absolute most to me, if that makes you feel better as a person, fucking do it. But I'll tell you, I'm human, and just like anyone else, a person can only take so much, And when I decide to say whatever it is that I need to say, don't cry because your feelings get hurt. Because I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to stand up for myself. Because you know why? Because I have enough respect for myself. And I'm not going to just sit here and just take it. Everyone just says, well, let them do it. Just let them get it out of their system. Just let it get out of their system. Really? I mean, Megan's been going on for what, 10 months? 10? Hell, Mallory's been a forever dick since I've known that bitch, since 2024. And then you got people like Violet and Lip Glossy and Levon and Pedro and Mama Bear and all the little minions underneath these other content creators, because they're too unoriginal that they can't hold their own platform. So they got to ride on the coattails of someone else's platform to have some type of self-importance, to have some type of validation, as if they belong because they're attached to somebody. And I think that's the problem with this app, is that some of y'all latch on to these content creators and you think it gives y'all some self-importance. A lot of y'all have lost the meaning of being a free thinker, of having your own thoughts and your own opinions. A lot of y'all are just become robotic minions that latch on to other content creators because you don't have the balls enough to go live on your own platform. Half the people that talk all the shit that they talk don't even have the balls enough to even get into boxes. But y'all have got the balls enough to hide behind your screen and your username to talk your shit. But I'll tell you what, 99% of y'all wouldn't say half the shit that y'all say in the comment section. Y'all wouldn't say that to my face. And you know, peace, that's a choice that you've chosen, right? You don't get in boxes. And you have your reason for doing so. You know, I will say that when it comes to TikTok, okay, you know, a lot of people do not have the courage or the balls to create their own content, to go live themselves. So what do those people do? They latch on to a content creator because they want to belong. Because you got to be with a group. Don't tell me that there's no groups. I mean, you've got Pastor Petty, and you've got his people. You've got Smashley. You've got her people. You've got, you know, people like Holly Mae Rutina. They've got their people. Every single time, the same people are in every single live. It's a group of people, the same people. The same people. Every single night. Like clockwork. And it's like they feed off of each other. You can't say that that's not true, because it is. When it comes to this side of TikTok, it's the same group of people that just recycle or get recycled from group to group. I mean, let's just say Mallory, for instance, right? You know, Mallory was once sitting with Petty, riding hard for him. She got booted off the island. She spent months on end trashing and bashing him. Smashley's, you know, trashing and bashing Mallory. So then you got that group going against that group. You know, everybody says they're a free thinker. No, you're not. Because if you sit with one group, you can't go into another person's live. Because if you're caught in another person's live, you're going to get called out and they're going to question why you were there. Can y'all imagine being a grown-ass adults, the grown-ass adults that we are, having other grown-ass adults telling us where we can and cannot go, what we can and cannot do. And then if we don't abide by the masses' rules, you know, I've never sat with a group. I don't feel the need to have a group of people. I feel like I've just kind of I'm more like a floater. I'm like, oh, that shit's going on? Oh, well, that shit's going on? I mean, like I said, I've always said, you know, shit, you know, how, you know, if you're in my live and you're kicking it with me, do you know how many times, Peace, that I have had people in my lives shooting the shit with me and having a good old time with me, and then they'll go into a live where I'm not liked, and then they talk shit on me? in that live, where do I sit? Where have I been sitting? I've interacted with people, but I definitely don't gather with the group to seek validation. I've definitely have never felt the need to charge people to subscribe to my account to be able to use stickers. I don't live for TikTok gifts or TikTok clout. I just wish people would just stop feeling like they have to conform to other people's beliefs to belong somewhere. And that's what this app has turned into. It's if you don't believe what this group of people is running with or what they're going for, then you're not a part of the cool kid group. And I feel like that there's a lot of content creators on here that feel like they have to have control of their people. It's like it's a control tactic. I feel like it is. I feel like that there's a lot of content creators on here that feel like that they have this sense of seniority, as if they get to dictate who can do what and say what. You know how many times I've seen people, right, like a seniority, like they hold some type of sense of higher power, as if what they say goes. It's like you can't go against that content creator. How many times have you seen a content creator say, if I see you over there in that live, you're getting blocked. If I see you over there interacting with such and such, you're gone. Well, higher anarchy, however you want to word it. I just feel like some people feel like that they have this higher self-importance, that whatever they say goes, and if you don't run what they want to happen, it's just like you're just like booted, or you're bashed for it. Well, maybe you're one of the rare few, Peace. Maybe you're one of the rare few, but I will tell you, there's not a lot. Do you know how crazy this was, Peace? I'll tell you. I was in a live, in a new content creators live, and I was just in there, and somebody from this side saw me in there and attacked me in that live in the comment section, asking me why I was there, as if they get to control where I go on this app, because I had never been in there before. Yep. Oh God, they'll go in there. Oh, Shannon, I know who you are. I know what you've done. I know what you've said. Why are you over here? And I'm like, what the fuck? That is how fucking weird some of you individuals are on this app. You go around and you just fucking just find someone that you don't like, and when you see them in any type of space or place, you go around and terrorize them. Yeah. I swear to God, I can't tell y'all how many times I have tried to reset my fucking FYP. I've even actually come across certain people's lives, and I have even actually just typed in some people's names and have started just blocking people because they're like, well, I don't like Shannon. Okay, well, I'm going to fix that problem for you. I'm just going to go ahead and block you so you don't see my shit. And then you know what those people do? They go and make another fake account to come still see what the fuck I'm doing. And at this point, it's like, are you a stalker or are you a fan? Are you a stalker or are you a fan? Because see, in real life, when you're like no longer want to associate with somebody and you move on from somebody, do you stalk them? Do you drive by their home? Do you drive by their job? Right? Right. Do you call their work and terrorize them? Do you go online on your Facebook? Do you dox them? No. You know? And if you work if I work with somebody, and you got to be cordial, right? If you work with somebody, but that don't mean that you got to be friends with them outside of work. You're cordial. But people don't know how to be cordial on here. People don't know how to be respectful. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. But people don't put that, but they don't put the two and two together. But see, Smashley doxed my phone number on her green screen because she was in her feelings. I get that, but you know what people do? Oh, I love this. This is my favorite thing. It's the selective outrage, right? Right? I mean, I've literally have sat here and watched people just do the utmost worst things to people because they're behind their phones. And they don't realize how they're truly affecting a person. You know? Me personally, for me, I'm at this point where I'm just going to start blocking every fucking account that I see. Whether, like I said, you view my profile, you come around, I'm just going to block you. If you come into my live, or if you come into my, view my profile with 0 following, 0 followers, you're gone. I mean, I just literally, before I even came live, I literally, I think it was like 4 or 5 people that literally were just talking mad shit or viewing my shit. You know? And it's a lot easier said than done, because when people sit down here in the comment section, they really don't endure what content creators who actually go in live endure. See, and see, that's where I'm at this point now when you can't support me at my lowest. Why would I ever allow you around me when I'm doing the best in my life or I'm doing better in my life? When you couldn't even stick around and be a true, just decent human being at someone's lowest point, what makes them think that they can just have access to me when I am succeeding? You know? It's kind of like, I'll do an example. It's kind of like someone who's overweight and who's heavier and doesn't get, uh, attention or, any type of, you know, love or respect for certain people because they see them as a heavier person. But then let's say that heavier person loses weight and gets thinner or gets skinnier, and then that's when people want to acknowledge them. No, I see it as if you couldn't have accepted me for who I was then why would I allow you around me now? That's kind of where I'm at. I've just come to the conclusion that with social media, it's all gone hell in a handbasket. You know, I think it's become too easy for people. I think sometimes people use social media as a release to let out all their anger and aggression on other people because it's so easy to hide behind your phones and to do the worst to people and get away with it. I just think it's sad that a lot of people get backlash because they choose to want to continue to still be supportive of me or even other people, and they get bashed for it. I think that's sad that grown ass adults, people in their 30s and 40s and 50s, continue to just be assholes. But I'll always defend myself. I don't need I always say, if you ever want to know who the true bully is, look at people that have to sit with a group of people to bully one person. I know that I can stand alone. I know that I can hold alive on my own, and I can stand on my own 2 feet and hold my head up high, knowing that I didn't need a group of people to back me to speak up for myself. I don't need a bunch of cheerleaders. But I'll say that I have learned some very, very hard lessons as far as it comes to parasocial relationships and friendships. One thing I've learned is tell people nothing about your real life. You will be safer and you will have more peace in your life when you do not intermingle your real personal life in social media. And I'm learning to totally set that boundary for myself. And like I said with Stephanie, honey, I would never tell you where I work. I would never tell you what Mike truly does for work. I would never, ever, after all the shit that you've done, trust me, honey, I was protecting myself. And I was telling you the absolute opposite. And it was for a reason. It's because you're not trustworthy. I don't, I'm the type of person that, like, if you want to walk away and not be my friend, that's okay. You know how many people that have just decided to just go about their own business and their own life? I don't really speak on them. I don't talk about it. Doesn't mean that I don't think about it, but I don't feel the need to continue to tear them down for it. We all have our own personal reasons why we've decided to no longer be associated with another person, but sometimes it's just like, when do you have that just mutual understanding of, it is what it is, you go your way and I go mine, and you go on about your life. And I guess it's so easy for people to just, they latch on to people that just want to be mean and hateful, and they enjoy that shit. They feed on it. They find it funny. They love it. They live for it. They live for the day-to-day just disarray and chaos. I don't, I've gotten frustrated with people on here, but I've never I've never yelled or screamed at anybody on my platform as my friend. I've always said, hey, can we talk about this later? Or, if this live ends, or, we need to have a talk or a conversation. But I don't feel like that I've ever gotten, you know, even as frustrated as I've been in certain situations, I've never tore someone down and say that they were my friend, you know. But some people just don't know when to stop, and some people just don't know when to just move on. And I'll never understand how some people think. But I'll tell you that, a lot of these people that have done the things that they've done to me and continue to do and still get praised for it, I'm still getting crucified for my past mistakes that I have already apologized for time and time again. But I guess I'm just, it's not about the quantity anymore. It's about the quality in people. You know, I'd rather be and alive with 10 solid quality people instead of being in a pretentious fake ass live that has no meaning or purpose with 5, 6, 700 people in it. Um, they are. They are beautiful. There are some people that are, honestly, it's it's freaky how some people are obsessed with me. And I mean, the obsession is real. It's almost, I see it as if there's some people that are so obsessed and they are so laser focused on me. The obsession is, it's disturbing. It's disturbing behavior. And the fact that people aren't calling that shit out blows my mind. The fact that people aren't opening up their mouths and saying, stop, you need to move on. This shit is getting old. Lay it to rest. You know, it was when Megan held that little 24-hour live that she held on me and replayed old clips, and they all talked and trashed and bashed me and just, you know, commentated every word that I said, and they did that for over 24 hours. Not one person ever got into that box and said, this is ridiculous. This has gone on long enough. This is psychotic behavior. This is abnormal. Not one single person. I don't have the time or energy to hold a 24-hour live to talk about the same person for hours and hours. It's, I think that some people just fixate, and they just, they become so, it consumes them. I feel like that some people have, it's like their obsession with me has consumed their entire life. And that's the reason why I don't even really want to show my face when I'm live anymore, because people just want to take screenshots so they can make videos and laugh at you and mock you and try to humiliate you. You know? But with that being said, it's 9:30. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go lay down with my man and go watch a movie and enjoy the rest of my night. And I'm just gonna say that I'm just gonna start blocking the shit out of people. And this is not my main account, by the way. This is not my main. I don't have live access on my main account till the 25th. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just enjoy the rest of my week and just hang out, work, and live my normal everyday life. And when I go live, I go live. I just know, for me personally, I think my interactions with TikTok for a while, I think it's just going to be far few and in between at this point. And then when summer gets here, I'm definitely just going to embrace summer and enjoy summer and probably not even be on TikTok at all. So. But anyway, thank you guys for coming in, Andy. All you other ladies as well. I appreciate you. Y'all have been some real ones. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.